Hey, Decathlon Gamer, welcome back to PCM23 Lions, episode 134. Arab sets off. I thought I set him to automatic, or to a set in relay, but anyway. UAE Tour, there's going to be a lot of miss, a lot less hits. I don't know how many hits just yet. We're absolutely speeding things up, but it's hard to avoid all scenarios. Arab has a +1 today. We're only going to watch what he does. But as for others in the team, Ashimwe is 8th. Yeah, we got a couple guys in the top 30, and Musa had a 50 something rating today, so he was pretty dang awful. Arab was 14th, just 15 seconds down, with a good enough bonus to be a 77. Former man Roteasir is 2nd. Former man Johannes Dalek is 16th. Of course, Shimway is 8th. What can Arab do? Can we get him into the top 10? Well, right now it looks like we can push that little bit more for the line. And 35 seconds down in a top 20 position, right? Same time as Johannes Dalek, same time as Jesse Kramer in 13th. So really just right there. Very much in the mix. Not a bad start. I think we can impact this time trial more. He would have lost a minute and a half if we didn't control him, most likely, or at least a minute. Wow. In a mountain stage, on paper, through quick sim, he's not going to do as well as we can do on occasion, but he's not going to do poorly. With a stage 7 victory, Sammy Arab has put himself in a good place for potential overall. He's 8 seconds ahead of anybody else, plus 10-second time bonus. He entered the stage 5th overall. So as we wrap up the UAE Tour, Sammy Arab has won. That's awesome. But Igor Arietta is 2nd, and Garces and Frischnecht is somebody who had a disappointing race, especially with that time trial rating. Like, there's your should have won kind of guy. Mostly, though, not the strongest field. Shinwei was 11th, Henok was 18th, but that's a win for Arab. Thanks to Kyoto Holda, I know why we didn't get a bonus after Benuna has just won a stage, time trial stage, at Paris-Nice. It's a World Tour A-level tour. It's a very high-level event, but the highest it can boost a nation towards, popularity 5. And that's exactly where Morocco is. So Morocco does not gain anything for this one. It's going to take a bit more than that to get that popularity any higher for Morocco. But Benuna gets a stage win there. It's definitely good for his points all. After 6 stages of Paris-Nice, Benuna, Samuels, Ashimwe, Isaacs, Henok, all in the top 16 within a minute and a half. Most of those guys inside a minute. Very much in that competition, and I've got a lot of +4s. This was an early objective for a number of riders this season, just the way my brief objective planning panned out with these guys. And so I've got options heading into the big mountain stage. We'll go ahead and do that one mountain stage, or at least the final climb, and see who is well placed and what we can do. I'm not sure we're in a strong enough position to be going for a win, especially with massively OP Godu, who is 34 years of age and still looks like the best rider in the world, and yet at no time at any stage of his career has he looked like he had the potential to be the best rider in the world or have those kind of climbing numbers. Good climber, don't get me wrong. He is easily one of the top 20 in the world, but not top 10. Certainly not the best, and certainly not capable of holding out to the age of 34 at that, and seems to already be about as good as we would expect him to ever get at this age. He seems to be at his peak. But French Game Company, French rider, the great French hope, they seem to think he's got more potential. We got 21K to go, 65 left in the peloton, all 7 left in the break, but they're now just over a minute ahead of us. And tempo has really picked up in the last about 10K. You can see a lot of riders working at the front. That's about 10 of the 65 are putting their foot down to set a high tempo, and it's going to do its damage. We're already seeing that it's doing its damage. Matoni was looking like a guy who could do really well today, but because he was 4.5 minutes down, I picked the other four guys that were there, and he's barely making the base of the climb here. 14 kilometers to go. This is going to be interesting how this one shakes out. Not even sure we want to protect Samuels. He's an 81-82 on the stamina. What about Isaacs? It's an 81-84, but he's a little bit further down in the GC. That's an 82-84 for a Shimway, so I think that's your leader. Hanoke has an 82-87, but he's also the furthest down. So do we ride for Samuels, who's a minute better off in placement? I think we kind of have to. But a Shimway, I think, is the overall leader today. Group's already down to 44. It's happening very quickly with that crazy tempo that's being set. We're halfway up the climb. One rider left off the front, and it's Vlasov, and there's a big acceleration of chasers with 9K to go. Gotta watch how fast that's opening up, and it's not opening up very fast, but we might have to do something to respond. Right now there's 2 riders giving chase, 3 riders giving chase, and there's just 21 here. Tony, Musa are both gone. Benuna is leaving us right now, so I've got 4 riders left, 7.7K. Not a ton of energy in this group. So Hanoke takes control, but 7K, we're going to take it slowly for now. Yeah, front group is disintegrating, so most of them just can't handle the pace that's been set, and we've already pulled back most of that slowly, gradually. 5.8K, so we've done that over about 1.5 kilometers. Hanoke running out of energy, so Isaacs will take over soon. And now it's just a single rider off the front, and it's Godu, who attacked too hard, too fast, and now that's Hanoke done. So on to Isaacs. So just 17 left in the peloton, and we now lead it. We control it with 4K to go. Much more moderate speed, but a lot of the guys are able to keep up with this speed. Not everybody. It's Hanoke out the back, Zimmerman out the back, Pidcock out the back, Mr. 82 Hills, just 12 left. And we've got a few guys we just dropped 5 more. Ucha Brooks, an 81 mountain guy. That's an 85 mountain when you add in the bonus. Paulus, Ironsman. There's 9 riders with an 81 mountain or better in this field. Godu looks like he's about to get dropped. And he is, along with Alberti and Vlasov. There's now 4 riders left at the front, and we have 3 of them, and it's Petrovic with us. 2.2K to go. Gel for the remaining guys. Samuels is going to have to take over here shortly, but we have done it. We have successfully disintegrated the field, and the gap is opening behind, 41 seconds ahead, so Isaac's still doing that work. Samuels. Down to 3. Shimway, can we attack and leave behind Petrovic? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. That's going to be a Shimway for the win. It's going to be Samuels. It's going to hold off Petrovic for second, and Isaacs is going to take third. Hell yeah. It's also a minute 45 to others. That is going to strongly plant us at or near the top of the standings in this Paris-Nice. Ashimwe wins by 26 seconds over Samuels, 3 seconds over Petrovic, 50 over Isaacs. Vlasov, Godin, and Alberti at 143, 203 to the next group. Henok at 244 in the general. Ashimwe leads from Samuels. Godin is third. Isaacs is sixth. Henok and Benuna both in the top 20. Hell yeah. Great result. Meanwhile, over at Giro Adriatico, Clote has actually held on to a top 10 with a kind of a B squad for us on this one. He was the only objective here, but had that fitness peak, and it helped him out, and it was enough to claw his way into a top 10 overall. Here's the dangers of the quick sim and what we're doing this season. We don't have a choice. Stage 8, medium mountain, 114k. Samuels 22 seconds behind Roland, but with Godin could be moving up from his third place. Samuels takes the win. Ashimwe drops to 4th. Isaacs is 6th. Henok 12th. Benuna is 17th. We still get the win overall, though it's not the guy who should have had it, Ashimwe. Godin, the one forcing that issue and forcing Samuels to stay on, where Ashimwe just fades in the end on this one. But we do get the win overall. We do get a double stage win because Benuna won a stage there. Ashimwe won a stage there. Samuels, who won no stages, takes the overall. So we get 3 collective wins as a team on this race. Arab picked up 2 in that previous race. Those are 5 wins in the first 5 of the year, where the AI had done absolutely nothing prior, and now things are starting to come along with objectives, with focus, helping us out a bit. And with those 2 wins in a couple of weeks, we find ourselves going from 9th to 1st in the rankings for the time being. This is nothing like the dominance we've gotten used to the last couple of years, but it's still us on the top step, at least for the time being. So far this season, Samuels, Ashimwe, Arab, all about the same odd points, then Clote, Isaacs, Matoni coming in next. Overall, it's still eventful. Remember, this overlaps back to the last year, so we're out of the top 10. Arab down to 11th. Samuel's up a couple spots to 20th. But we also have a very happy sponsor now with a couple big results. I was getting pretty nervous about where we were before we went and did our little 4-star objective and then pushed our way right on up to 100% evaluation. I'm still not convinced that we have that locked in. It's only March, and there easily could be a string of bad results that do knock us down. I think at this point, even though we're at 100%, we're probably just at that 100% at this point. So I could see us falling away from that pretty quickly, pretty easily in time. Middle of March, let's go ahead and push forward. We're going to enter the classic season now. We've got some big races coming our way. We've got some monuments coming our way. This has always been my head scratcher as to the monuments. In my opinion, there's a lot of races that are way better races than Milan-San Remo. What's special about it? It's long. Why does that make it special? There's been plenty of long races. In fact, the sport used to really be about endurance more than anything else, because the bikes were hard to ride, and so it took a lot to just keep going. Now the bikes are easier to ride, easier to sit on. Distance doesn't make such a difference. Endurance, it still has its place in the sport, but it's not like it used to be. Now we respect the battle, the struggle, the fight, the hard races. That's why guys like Wout van Aert, Matthew van der Poel get so much attention these days, because they are the ones with that battle, with that grit. Well, anyway, either way, it's Milan-San Remo. It's our first monument of the year, and the rider, the single rider in the breakaway, has made this an incredibly easy race. There's zero fatigue whatsoever. One rider alone off the front was given a billion-minute advantage, also known as about 12 minutes, and just wasn't threatening. So he never rode hard. Chasing him down was very easy. So here we are on the penultimate climb, facing our first piece of adversity on the entire day with just 26k to go. As we get over the top of this one, it takes its toll, because other than a shimway, we did not bring climbers to this race. It finishes in a sprint. So we've got to prepare for that one, and this is built as a sprint for us. Musa is the exception, and if we get Musa a little bit off the front and have a chance, if we're lined up properly, we might just give him the attack and see if we can force the other teams to try to chase. For a moment, we had a split, and it's showing again. 39 riders, 134 chasing, slender gap, but it's gonna yo-yo. They will regain contact again, I presume. 16k to go. We might as well not give them a chance. Let's get started, huh? As expected, they are back in contact now. Kareem coming on strong. Of course, he's got that great flat rating. But for now, he's stuck in the pack. And we are stuck in the pack, so trying to get us out front. Stretch this thing. Get our guys in position. The climbers are there. Minus Musa for the moment. There we go. That's everybody in place. 12k to go. Chilling up for the next two. And as we're about to begin climbing, it's Benuna to get us started. This is going to do damage to his teammates, but it's also going to set us up. Kind of a weird thing to do, right? You got sprinters. You want to focus on sprinters, but... Musa doesn't have enough left to keep going. Separation for Ashimwe and for Musa. Villiers is chasing, but not really being the one to chase. 16 seconds for Ashimwe, but it's still 5 kilometers. Sprinters have already recovered 3.9k. Musa sprinting. Sprinting harder. Oh, gel. Little late, probably too late. 2.6k. Now we're coming back at Ashimwe, but this is not us pulling these guys along. This is doing what you do. 1.7. Oh, Maccabee doesn't have enough. Maccabee does not have enough. Ashimwe did not have enough of an advantage. We'll get a top 10 here, maybe. Van Veenendael takes the win ahead of Pedersen and Germay. Wegner, Vermeer, Schgill. We do miss the top 10, just barely. Ashimwe. Oh, not just barely, 15th. And the sprinters couldn't handle. Might have gone a hair too early with those guys. They seem to have recovered the red bar, and we had depth, so figured I'd go for it. It's been a long time since we've tried a proper sprint in this one. Kind of forgotten where our guys are at. And remember, Maccabee, who is looking weaker than Daniels there, lacks acceleration. He's got top speed, but he lacks acceleration, so Daniels was actually hanging in there better. So when things sped up, Daniels kept up easier. Couple what-ifs moments in there. Came close to looking like something could come together. It didn't. Attacking with the punchers didn't hurt because they were recovered full red bar. That all happened at the last 5k at the bottom. Apparently just went a little too strong with it. Wow, too early. Kilometer too early. Well, initially, I'm not sure what exactly my intent was for speeding things up this season. But I'd say we're fairly successful so far. Because in this one episode, I just sandwiched together what's normally a 4-episode stretch. So we're definitely going a lot faster and progressing, and came away with multiple wins. Not San Remo, but that was a little less than desired. But hey, that's going to happen. When you go for it, you're going to get results or you're not. It's going to go your way or it's going to blow up. When you just go for a high finish, it's a lot easier to kind of sit back on your heels and react and just flood the top positions without much actual success. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we do the alternative. Today we went for it. Didn't pan out. Happens. But a big triple win at Paris-Nice, a double win at the UAE Tour. That's good stuff. I'm very happy with the start to our season. I was a little fearful that we were going to have our struggles. So far, so good. A lot of season left to come. Like I said, we're into the classics for now. So we'll make our way, pick and choose, do some of those, do less of those. Keep things moving along. That's going to do it for this episode on Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.